And hello all, and welcome back to Short and Smokey, the short cigar review series. Now, by the time you're seeing this, it's probably already spring, but at the time I'm filming, there's still a few weeks left in winter, but it's a fairly warm day out today. There's a little breeze going, but I thought I'd just come over here to the park and have my first cigar in actually a few weeks. Not been able to really get out and smoke any. Now, if you saw my channel update video, I said that I actually got some new recording equipment here and trying something a little bit different today. So, hopefully this actually looks pretty good. It looks good right now, but we'll see what it looks like in editing. But anyways, the cigar that we're going to be smoking today, I actually picked up at a JR cigar outlet in Burlington, North Carolina, early last fall. Just picked it up on a whim because it looked interesting. And little did I know it would actually be the number 5, I believe, cigar of 2021. I believe it was at number 5. I think this had a rating of 91 or 92, somewhere around there, give or take a point, with Cigar Aficionado. Naturally, this is my first time trying it. It's the only one I've got. And now they're a little more difficult to find since they made the list. But we're going to go ahead and cut right into this, and let's get smoky. Alright, so first impressions of this, very sweet, very chocolatey. This puts me a lot in mind of the Arturo Fuente Florfina 858, which is actually probably my favorite cigar from Fuente. But it's just got a very, very heavy chocolatey note in there. So there's some coffee, but there's a little more cedar and kind of a little citrus zest in there. And there's a good little bit of pepper right on the tip of my tongue and a little bit on the finish there. So a pretty bold cigar, actually, right from the start. But we're going to go ahead and get into the first third, and we'll see what we think after that. Okay, so we're a little bit past the end of the first third, and I don't know what I really think about the cigar at this point. It started off so bold in flavor and the body, and now it's just kind of nothing. It's like all the flavor came at once, and now, I don't know, it's like I'm still tasting a little bit of cream in there, very faint notes of coffee, and it's still, for the most part, pretty sweet. But, I don't know, it's kind of gone to almost like a weak Connecticut in the taste. There's kind of some hay in there, still a little bit of cedar, but, I don't know, all those really nice flavors right at the beginning just kind of died off. And the burn on this thing has been honestly terrible. I mean, it's been even for the most part. It's not really tapered any, but I've had to relight this thing like 5 times already now. It just will not stay lit. But I don't know. We're going to keep on pushing through, and I'll let you know what I think here in just a few minutes at the end of the second third. Alright, so that's about the end of the second third there. Honestly, really hasn't changed that much. The burn is doing a little bit better right now, but I've still had to relight it, I think, once in the second third. There's still some pepper on the finish, and it is still a fairly sweet cigar, kind of getting some natural tobacco in there now. But really, all those real nice flavors there at the beginning, they've all kind of died off. Yeah, just not really much going on for this cigar right now. Maybe just a hint of caramel in there, but I guess we'll go ahead and finish this out, and I'll let you know what I think at the end. Alright, so that's about all I'm going to get out of this cigar today. Got really soft here on the end and just would not stay burning. But I'm going to go ahead and mark it a 5 for the amount smoked. Been smoking on this about an hour and a half, but I feel like if the burn had been better, I'd have probably been done with it in less than an hour, maybe just over. But again, this was the Arturo Fuente Casa Cuba Doble Cinco. This was a Dominican filled cigar with an Ecuadorian wrapper, a Robusto at a 50 ring gauge at 5 inches long. And I gave about $10 for this cigar, give or take. This was before I implemented my new index to mark my pricing down. But the band, naturally a perfect 5 on that, a very beautiful band. And the appearance was near flawless, just this little bit of a kind of weird shape here at the foot, so I just knocked off a point for that. As for the build on this, the draw was a little weak. I think it had to do with that really soft spot at the end, so gave it an 8 for draw. I could only give this thing a 5 for burn, and I think that's even being generous. The construction was really good except for right there at the end, so I only knocked off a point for that, but that burn was just horrendous. I really couldn't do anything with the cigar. Smoke output was pretty good overall, though. I gave it a 9 for that. And the strength was actually right where I like it to be, just, right in the middle, kind of a little between medium and medium full, somewhere right in there. So gave it a perfect 10 for that. And I think I'm even being generous on the flavor here. As this thing started out, like I said, the first third, we had heavy notes of chocolate, cream, some cedar, some orange zest in there, and really bold there with that pepper on the forefront and the finish. Then into the second third, the flavors just really died off. There was a little bit of cedar and hay still remaining in there, and just very, very subtle hints of coffee. Still some pepper on the finish, but, that was really all there was. You just feel a tingling from the pepper. Everything else was just kind of bland. The final third, some of the flavor actually did come back a little bit. It became really earthy at the end, and there was kind of some hints of licorice in there. It's still pretty sweet, but there was some like salted caramel flavor here and there. But overall, really not that great. I only gave it a 5 for the body, and I think the 7 for the flavor was being very generous on this cigar. Now, maybe if I try this cigar again, I'll pair it with something different. I went with my go-to truffles with the toffee and sea salt, and had an old favorite, my black cherry boiling soda here. But overall, this cigar got a final score of 80. So, that's quite a bit below average for me. My average is really right around 85, 86. So, this was not a great cigar. I mean, maybe I just had a bad one, but I even think my Smoking Hour co-host, Steven, I think he said the same thing about the cigar. He really didn't care for it. How this made number 5, I really don't know. I'd definitely be willing to give it another try, see if maybe it'll get a higher rating for me. But right now, this one is a no-go for me. So that's about all I have to say about this cigar today. Thank you for joining me for this regular episode of Short and Smoky. Haven't had one of these in a while, but should be able to get a few more out here now that it's getting a little bit warmer. I have more time to smoke. But again, thank you for watching, and I will see you all again next time. Stay smoky, my friends.